Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. I never imagined a single night could unravel everything I had taken for granted. My name is Lisa, I'm 32, and for years I believed my husband Mark would never leave me, no matter how far I pushed the limits. We had been together for 8 years, married for 5, and I always thought our bond was unshakable. Mark was calm where I was reckless, steady where I was impulsive, the rock that absorbed every storm I created. But that stability I relied on so carelessly wasn't unbreakable. It was a choice, and one I had unknowingly tested too many times. The night everything changed began like any other Friday. We were invited to a close friend's dinner party, casual, small, and seemingly harmless. Wine glasses clinked, soft music floated through the living room, and laughter filled the corners of the house. I was chatting with Jenna, Mark's old college friend, laughing a little too loudly at my own jokes, when the conversation took a dangerous turn: relationships. Someone casually asked what we would do if a partner was ever dishonest or tempted to stray. Before I could think, a mischievous laugh escaped me. "Oh, Mark? I could cheat and he would still stay," I said. It was meant to be playful, a teasing exaggeration, but I had miscalculated my audience. The room erupted in laughter. I looked around, expecting playful nudges, jokes exchanged, and maybe a few raised eyebrows. Instead, I noticed Mark had gone still. His expression didn't change dramatically, but there was a subtle shift in his posture, a quiet weight in the way he held himself. He didn't yell, he didn't storm off. He simply picked up his glass and stood there listening. At first, I convinced myself he was joking along, but deep down, I felt a flicker of unease. Something had snapped, something I hadn't noticed until it was already too late. Throughout the evening, I continued to tease, leaning into the joke as if nothing mattered. I mimicked my flirtatious tone, nudged Jenna, made jokes about Mark's quiet demeanor, and laughed at how predictable he always was. Mark smiled faintly, nodded, and responded politely when spoken to, but it wasn't real. That night he stayed quiet, distant, and I ignored it. I assumed he'd get over it as he always had. I was wrong. The ride home was silent. I attempted small talk, throwing casual remarks into the air, desperate for him to react, to reassure me that it was fine, that nothing had changed. But he responded only with nods or short, clipped words. Finally I asked, "Mark, are you seriously still upset over that joke?" He didn't raise his voice. He didn't scold me. He simply said, "It's not just the joke, Lisa. It's every time I felt small, belittled, or invisible in this marriage. I've been patient, I've laughed it off, and I've told myself it's okay, until tonight. I'm done pretending." I laughed, nervously, incredulously, thinking he was being dramatic. "It was just a joke," I said. "Come on, you know I wasn't serious. I didn't mean it that way." Mark's eyes met mine, calm but unyielding. "It's never just a joke when it's been every day, every week, for years. I've let you push me, Lisa, and I've accepted it silently. But tonight I realized that I deserve respect, not just tolerance." The words hit harder than I expected. My mind raced, searching for a way to fix it, to laugh it off, to convince him that I hadn't meant what I said, but the truth was, I had pushed him too far, and even if I hadn't intended harm, the damage was done. He stood, picked up his jacket, and without another word walked out the door. I froze, expecting him to come back, expecting him to explain, to apologize for overreacting. But he didn't. The following morning, I assumed he would have softened, that time would mend his quiet anger. But when I saw him across the kitchen table, sipping his coffee, his posture still rigid, I knew that something had fundamentally shifted. "Lisa," he said softly, almost too quietly, "I don't think I can do this anymore." My stomach dropped. I laughed nervously, trying to mask my panic. "You're joking," I said. "You're leaving me over one joke?" Mark shook his head. "It wasn't just the joke. It was every insult, every joke at my expense, every time I felt I was nothing more than the punchline in your stories. Tonight I realized I can't keep doing this. I deserve better than that."